Why does the United States not have a train system like Europe? In short, the US does have a train system, it's just incredibly underfunded and underutilized. And there are serious plans to build out high-speed rail in the near future. But Americans love to drive across the country, so here's a little bit more detail. So the US does have Amtrak, which operates over 30 different routes across the country, with over 60 million riders every single year. That's actually a lot of people, but it's still nowhere near as efficient or as accessible as Europe's train systems. Most of Amtrak's routes are long-distance, cross-country routes with very limited local or regional service. And that's because when the US first started building its rail network, it was intended to move people and goods across the vast distances of the country quickly. And so the focus was on building a national network that connected major cities. Amtrak actually used to have much more extensive regional and local service, but it was all but completely gutted in the 1970s and 80s due to a lack of funding. Since then, the US has spent far more money on expanding its highway system than its rail system, which is a big part of the problem. If you look at countries like France or Spain or even Japan, you'll see that their train systems are far more extensive and far more integrated into their daily lives. People in these countries don't need to buy a car in order to get around. They can get by just fine using trains, subways, and buses. In many cases, these European countries have invested heavily in high-speed rail, which has reduced travel times between cities and made train travel even more appealing. Now, the US has plans to do the same thing. There are currently several high-speed rail projects in various stages of planning and construction, including the California High-Speed Rail, which will connect Los Angeles to San Francisco in under 3 hours. Once completed, this will be the first high-speed rail line in the US. There are also plans for a high-speed rail line that would connect Chicago to Minneapolis and a new high-speed rail network that would connect the Northeast megalopolis from Washington, D.C. to Boston. But until these projects are completed, Americans will continue to do what they've been doing for decades, driving across the country. There's just something about the open road that Americans can't resist. That's all for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.